Hi there. New video. Now, this video is about Nottingham Comic Convention. As you probably all know, I'll be tabling there on the 29th of October, I believe. It's a Saturday. It's a one-day event. It's in Nottingham, and I think it's going to be fun. Now, previous tabling experience was at Coventry at the Meanwhile Festival, and we've learnt some lessons from that, and we're going to apply them to this one. So join me, dear viewer, as we sort of design new display stands for our comics, and we think about table layout.
Okay, so this is a table layout. The dimensions were supplied to me by the convention organizers, and I've sort of measured the size of an issue of Space Crash, for example, and that's worked out a width that would work well for a point of sale for Space Crash. This is the size of the 100th anthology, this is the size of Space Cop's Origin. Mini comic display to go here, and this is an area where we can put like a clipboard for signing up to mailing lists, things like this. Um, So now I've got an idea of how big certain elements have to be, the displays mainly. I want to sort of develop the ideas and designs that we had for Meanwhile, and I want to add a slightly more robust construction. So on Meanwhile, they were made out of foam board, which was okay to work with, but um, the edges never stayed crisp, and these slots would work themselves loose, and when you try to disassemble them, they'd fall to pieces. It's not really a very strong construction method. So I'm looking to make these out of wood, and more importantly, I'm looking to make these out of laser cut wood, about three millimeters thick. So let's look at some design options. Okay, so this is Tinkercad. It's an online CAD program by Autodesk. Uh, and I try to rough out something of an idea of what a version 2 display stand could look like. So it's going to be flat components, and there would be finger joints joined together. It took a long time to get just this, and it's not perfect. So the idea is we'd have 3 tiers, 1, 2, and 3, and this back would be taller, so that we could put some graphics on there. But it took me ages to put this together, and there's no real mechanism for getting out the drawings. Getting out an SVG file, you have to sort of lay the pieces flat on the table and then export out an SVG drawing. It takes where the faces intersect on the ground plane as a shape as an SVG file. So this is a lot of busy work. So that really didn't work for us. So instead, I started looking around, and I found on this forum for Glowforge, which is a domestic laser cutter, this design. Someone had put together as a comic book display, and it's just slotting together. It's way more simple to put this together than that finger jointed example. So I've taken this design, I've made it wider so that we get more books in there. Get the 2 tier, and I've extended the back up. And we went and got that printed. Okay, so armed with the information that we've got, this is the layouts. These are the shapes for the 2 pointer sails. So this is for Space Crash. This is for the mini comics. That's for a different project. So I thought I'd try and kill 3 birds with 1 stone. And so I took this to a local business, and they laser cut it for me. So based on the assembly of the Space Crash pointer sail display, we've noticed a few design problems, and there's a couple of big issues that we need to resolve. First up, these slots are, although they are the width of the board, they are very, very tight. And these fingers at the side are very, very narrow. So it's really easy when dismantling the display stand to snap these fingers off. So what I've done for the mini comics display is I've actually just scraped them with a bit of a craft knife and run them over with a sander, these slots, and that makes for a much better fit.
Okay, so this is the Mark II mini comic display stand. This was done at the same time as the Mark II Space Crash point of sale, but just learning from what happened to the Space Crash point of sale, I've actually sanded down the holes for the slots and trimmed them back a little bit, and it's fitting together quite well. It'll come apart fine. It's fitted to put together because you do one side and then you've got to try and line up the slots on this side, but once it's in. You'll be wondering about this bit. There's a backing plate to go here with a display on, and it gives us another row of 4 comics. So this is for 16 different comics you can have in this display. I've just got to trim these holes back and then test fit the backing board. But this is encouraging. It means that at least 50% of the laser cut wood from our Mark II laser cutting has been moderately successful. Yay!
But the biggest problem we've got is because these displays are angled. It means it's got its center of gravity is effectively up here, so it just topples over all the time. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this display wider, arrange these to be more upright, and we'll have to change the design of these slats slightly so that you can have like a lip so the comics don't fall off the side. And that's precisely what we've done with this version. This is the version 3 point of sale display for Space Crash. You can see everything is now upright and across. I've added this component here, which is going to be a mid strut, and effectively these are the footers for the different levels, and they'll slot in there. This should stand up better. The back extends out a little bit more. This is now upright. The center of gravity is more over this section, which is good. This bit is wider. These are now 4mm as opposed to 3, which should make for a good fit. If they're a bit loose, I can always put some masking tape on the edge, trim it to sort of pad it a little bit more. So yeah, hopefully this should work quite nicely.